Hi, John here at Microaces Workshop. Welcome to stage 9 of the Sopwith Camel build. Let's just get down onto the build board, have a quick look at the assembly guide. These two pages are the ones we'll be concentrating on. I don't think there's anything over the other side. Oh, there is. We'll get to that later. Just move that away. So we're putting on the hump. We are attaching the rest of the twin machine guns, and we're putting on the ejection chute as well. And over the page, we've got the windshield. So essentially, we're just getting everything done on the forward part of the cockpit before we start thinking about putting the top wing on. So, right, let's move that to one side and start getting our parts together. Now I've cut them off the sprues, so we can get to it quite quickly. Our first part is the hump. It'll be the various different colours depending on which kit you've got, but that's it there. Now this is made of the polyester plastic, and we need to get it to attach to the front here. Now at the moment it's quite difficult, and in fact what we need to do is shape this. The plastic itself has some nice plastic qualities to it, and you can actually start shaping it. You don't have to use any tools. I'm just going to start sort of bending it into shape. If you don't get it right first time, that's fine. It's something that you can go back to. So I'm just creating the fold over at the top that follows the line around there. I'm going to put a little slope at the front there, as you can see. There's sort of an angle up from the flat part, right behind the cowl, and obviously the machine guns go through these holes here. Now, also this curves round, like so. I'm just going to shape this aside in the same way. Keep it quite smooth, not too angular. Obviously we've got the hole for the ejection chute there too. So let's see how we're doing on the actual aircraft itself. So we don't want the rigging to get stuck under that, so just move that to one side, and you can see there's some little slots that go down either side of the entry point of the strut to the fuselage. So it just needs a little bit of close work so I can see what I'm doing. It's requiring not much. It's all looking good. Did it do? I just need a little bit more forwardness to this this part. So I'm just going to, and what's stopping it moving forward is the struts themselves. So I'm just going to cut a little bit extra from those little cutouts for the strut itself, just so the part can move a little further forward than it is at the moment and sit on top of the that plywood front firewall. Whilst we're at it, I've changed the blade, if you saw the last instalment, so I'm just going to trim off excess, there we go, the excess rigging material. In. Obviously we need to keep this rigging piece out of the way at the moment. It's quite stiff there, so the glue on it. So we'll just keep that out of the way by folding it forward, like so. Right, now to attach this, just going to I'm going to give that another dry fit since I cut those the extra part out. So you should have those cutouts sliding either side of the struts. Until the whole part is tight around the top of that plywood. Let's just move a little bit more. I don't think I actually removed that. It's the colour is very similar to the board, and okay, that's better. So that all seems to fit quite nicely now. So what I'm going to do initially is get that front part glued down, and then we'll glue the rest of this part down to the fuselage once this is dried off. So let's just get some glue onto there. Okay. I'll just place this on. As I have done in the dry fit. So transferred enough glue over, and just put a little more onto that that plywood. Good stick there. And once the glue has dried sufficiently, we'll come back and stick that on. I shall pause you for a second whilst it does that. Right. Now, let us pop this on. just want to lift this out of the way for a sec so I can tuck this underneath. Go. Just make sure it's all secure at the front there. Everything looks fairly central as well. And my plastic is pretty much flush with the front of that plywood. So now I can start sticking the rest of the material down. So what I'm going to do is this central part, I'm just going to lift that up slightly, apply some glue to the back of it, and then just temporarily pop that down between the two machine guns, like so. Let that lift back off, and we'll let that dry off before we bring it back down into place. And then I'm going to do similarly with the sides. Now, obviously, we've got to be quite delicate here. Maybe some use of tweezers is a good idea. And just add, I'm going to add glue to the actual surface of the fuselage. Might have gone over a bit, but you can always clean it up at a later date. So I'm just going to bring that down onto the fuselage, like so, and then let it leak back off. And just do similarly with the other side. Got an opportunity here to put some onto the plastic too, so that's what I'll do. Top on. Bring that to bear on the side of the fuselage too. Okay. Flip back up. So we'll let the glue set, so we've got our contact adhesive quality, and come back and finish that in a second. Right, let's see if we're ready to do this. So, okay, let's bring that central part down. That should take pretty much straight away. There we go. Fantastic. And to the side pieces, these need a little more manipulation. Should there we go. It's in place. Because I've curved these bits at the top to begin with, before putting everything together, there's not too much sticking up. It's not pulling away from the material so much as it would if it didn't curve it. So, right, put this down. There we go. Brilliant. Good. Well, I'm glad I cut out those little extra bits. They've helped to make sure this forms really well. And it doesn't look like we've got too much cleaning up to do, which is good. So I'm happy with the colour there. It's all sitting firmly on the plywood. Yeah, Very happy. Fantastic. That's our camel hump done. Right, now on to the machine guns. So we've done the rear half of the machine gun. Now it's on to essentially the barrels and the cooling jackets. So we have a couple of pieces of plastic here. I'm just going to increase the scoring on it to allow. Turn it around. Didn't score that particularly accurately. Yeah, that's better. So these just fold over on each other. Like so. And the other one together as well. So I'll just glue those up and be back with you in a second. So we have the two plastic parts folded over and stuck together. The next stage is the actual cooling jacket, S38s. There we go, it doesn't matter which one we use, the two. So to create the barrel, I take the sticker itself, place it onto, you should have a couple of these black straws, and then all I do is position the sticker as upright as possible, and then just roll the straw or plastic tube around and make sure that the sticker stays, it's not lopsided basically, so you get your decoration on there with all of the cooling vents, etc. And then you use the line where the sticker ends to chop it off, like so. And then this should, if I'm right in thinking, slide over the machine gun. Plastic, like so. And then we shall glue that into place. So I'll get on and do the other one as well. We'll have two to deal with. Okay, we've got both of our little flat plastic parts into our decorated tubes. Now these just need to go into the two slots that have been made available at the front of the machine gun, so that they should slot in there, and then the machine gun will sit forward and proud of the fuselage, like so, until we put the cowl on, and then obviously they sit on top of or protrude over the top of the cowl. So what I'm going to do, just a little blob of glue, like so. See, I'm using the tweezers, helps with a bit of accuracy, and then just slide that into the slot there. Oh, and the other thing I'll probably do to make sure it all sits properly is add a blob to the point where it touches, just there. I'll do that on both sides now. There we go. And add a touch to the other one. that in and make contact. So, so I've got glue on the underside as well. Bits of string. I'll just pop that down upside down so the glue doesn't set. Upside down. It's so light. The weight of it, the weight of the glue on one side is making it rotate. So anyway, go on. There we go. And on this side too, I'll reintroduce this. It probably hasn't dried just yet. There we go. Just hold it. Yeah, good. Okay, we'll just let that now dry, so that when I bring it all into contact, it should stick firm, hold, and it shouldn't need holding any longer than the few seconds it takes to bring it together. Whilst that's doing, I'm going to start the folding process for the ejection chute, which is a very tiny piece of plastic, as you can see here in my fingers, with 1, 2, 3, 4 scores on it, laser scores. So what I'm going to try and do is very gently fold on each of those scores to 90 degrees. That should bring us an open, or it should form an open-ended box. So I'm just going to slightly overbend these so that when we come to stick it all together, it wants to stay rather than ping apart. That looks about right. And then there's a little tab we can add some glue to. We'll hold it all together. Just add our glue to that tab. We're just going to add some glue where it comes into contact with the other side of the chute as well. Go. And once again, I'll just let that dry off and go from there. Right, I don't think our machine guns are dry enough yet, or the glue isn't dry enough yet to warrant putting them together. So once again, I'm going to have a quick pause, go and make myself a cup of tea while it dries, and we'll come back and mount the machine guns. Right, I've got my cup of tea. That didn't take long, did it? And the glue's now dry enough to get these little babies on. Oh, one thing that you need to note is that we now need to bring this rigging piece and the pip above the machine guns. So it needs to be, I'll just show you, put my hand in the way there. Position that so that the machine guns go under the rigging, because the rigging needs to stand up above the machine guns. Right, let's go for it. Machine gun 1 in place. rigging so I can get underneath it. And with the second machine gun. There we go, both in place. Towing out a bit at the moment, but just fiddle with the position. There we go. Right, a couple of little bits that we need to do to the front of the machine guns there. We've got a sight to go on, and the other one just has a, well, not a blank, but a sort of the front of the machine gun itself, or the cooling jacket. And before we do that, let's just bring our little chute together. Now the glue's dried on that, hopefully. I'm just going to get the tweezers in there to pinch the two surfaces together. Are they holding? They are. I think they are. Okay, I'll just put that to one side. Very easy to lose that. So it's over there. Tell me later. Right. Let's just get our two machine gun frontal parts. And they literally just slide onto the protrusions at the front, which are supposed to represent the muzzles of the machine guns. So sight on the right, like so. Let's just apply a little glue, a little gum to the back. It slots, so it all folds into place. Okay. Make sure that's all right back in place. That looks great. Let's see that sitting on the front. And that's the other one. A little bit fiddlier. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put some glue onto the machine gun rather than try and put it on the back of that, because I don't have a sight to hold on to, because it doesn't have a sight on it. So a bit of gum. It's going to come into contact with that jacket. Just blobbed a little bit of excess over, so I'm just going to wipe that off my finger. Now, a little piece here, just going to use the tweezers to hold on to it and pop it into position, like so. There we go. So, all of that's done. Machine guns look pretty parallel, both still towing out a little bit, but we'll fiddle with that and get it right. So, our next step is, thank you for reminding me, putting this this little box in place. Now, before we do that, we've just got to make a cut. Where the box is supposed to go, we've also got some foam sitting behind it. We've just got to remove that foam. It should be scored if you've managed to get the score on the foam exactly in position with the covering of the plastic part, then very, very well done. If not, a nice sharp knife should do the trick. So trying to clean some of the glue that I've got on it off, so that doesn't help, but it can be fixed. So right, there we go. And oh, I've also managed to remove the piece of foam too. That saves 0.00003 of a gram. Excuse me for slurping. Right. Oh dear. There it is. Thought it had gone. Right, so this should then fit into that little hole, like so. Which at the moment it doesn't seem to want to go. So, see if I can remove a little more of this material. Oh yes, there's definitely more to come out. Right, have we removed enough? Let's have a look. Grab our chute again. See whether we can wiggle that in. It's looking more promising. Just need to get a. There we go. So that now fits into that slot. Just need a little glue to keep it in there. Our little tab has come adrift slightly. Be all right once it's all settled in. Right. Now this needs very little in the way of glue. So I'm just going to dab some on the edges. Go. Use the tweezers once again. Pop it into place. Go. One ammo chute done. Let's try and get it a bit more of an angle. Wrong way. Oh. We'll settle for that. That's fine. Excellent. Right. Now we can turn the page. I'm afraid you're going to have to watch me cut off something from a sprue, because I didn't prepare this one. P28, there we go, the windscreen, the windshield. So, take a second. So there we have it. And we should have a sticker to go on the back of that too. So, there is our sticker pack. It's there. Now, before we pop the sticker on, what I'm going to do is just curve these edges of the windscreen just to shape them slightly as they were on the actual aircraft. In fact, I believe the Camel, as did many other aircraft, they used all sorts of different windshields and different configurations. Some even had great big holes in to put the telescopic sight through. So I've got that bending through, probably 60 degrees, something like that. Right, now let's pop the sticker on the back. My fingernails have grown. Okay, so let's see how we do with this. What I'm trying to do is obviously reduce any overlap and try and get the sticker onto the plastic as accurately as possible. Well, not entirely happy with that, but of course the great thing is I can use my knife to trim any of the excess. Go. There's a little across the bottom there as well. Across the top, I really didn't make a good job of this. Of course, I will blame the fact that I'm filming it as why that happened. Because obviously, if I'd been doing this without the cameras on, it would have been utterly perfect. Honest. So that should go into this little slot here between the two machine guns. And what I'm going to do, I'm just pushing through with the knife just to make sure that it will go into the slot. I know that we've got some foam beneath here, so just making sure that we've got enough room for the little tab on the bottom of the windshield, just there, to insert in that. So let's just pop that on. There we go. Now what I didn't do, and what I will do, is just bend that tab back slightly to give the windshield some rake when it's actually in place. So let's just add a little glue to our tab. Just a little bit around the edges as well, the bottom edge. And then we'll put her in place. There we go. So, windshield on now, machine guns in place, sight, and all of the other bits. We have successfully completed the section 9 detail of the camel build, which is fantastic news. So I hope that particular part was helpful for you. It is certainly one of the more unusual and fiddly parts of the build, and hopefully you've got enough information there to certainly make it easier for you to do the assembly. As with always, thank you ever so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode of the camel build. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.